Hints and tricks for making Discover 10 your own. Now that you have an idea of how to run Discover 10 software, it can be helpful to learn some of the more minute aspects of it. These hints and tricks can help the user more quickly and knowledgeably achieve their goals. The first nugget of knowledge is that the ribbon and the tabs are fundamentally different. The ribbons contain commonly used buttons and procedures, while being in one of the tabs, it is common that the user may want to access buttons from other ribbons. Therefore, any ribbon can be accessed and used while in a single tab page. On the other hand, when the user switches tabs, the ribbon will automatically switch to the associated ribbon for the user's convenience. Within most tabs, there are sections like plots. These are marked by lines with some dots in the center. By grabbing the lines, the user is able to enlarge or shrink different graphs and areas. In the ribbons are the blue expansion arrows that are shown in many of the other videos. The arrows bring up the local settings options. When applied from here, these options will stay only for this iteration of Discover 10. If the user would like to save these settings permanently, they should go into File, Options, and click the Keep Options Permanently button. Note that when the change is made in the expansion arrow pop-up and applied, it will automatically be updated in the file options here as well. The Restore Default Settings button will restore any options that the user has set to keep options permanently to their defaults. This, however, will not include many fields with numbers, such as the optics lag. Within the Toolbox ribbon is the Motor Command pop-up window. This information button will inform the user of all of the available commands to input into the Motor Command prompt within the Toolbox tab. These range from moving to specific spots, to resetting the origin location for rotary, and moving at set speeds. Remember that the @ button next to the command input will stop the associated motor immediately. Within the Setup and Run tab, there are some interesting things to note too. Firstly, when setting up a run, the sequence does not need to be saved to execute the run. This allows the user to modify future samples while the run is going on. If the sample didn't come out the way it was expected to, then it can be duplicated and run later in the sequence. If the Discover is an integrated system with a DANI GC, then going into the expert level will bring up some of the additional buttons in the Schedule sub-tab for methods and connecting to the GC. Within the Data tab, the user can search for the data or simply drag and drop the data files. The file type needed is .spc. If the data is changed here and the user would like to keep the current state of it, it must be saved using the Save Sample Run button. From the ribbon, the user can click on the Sample Run Info information button. This will bring up the saved information about the run that is viewed below. Also in the ribbon, there is a section called Layout. From here, the user can choose from panels to look at different ways to view the information in the tab. By default, the 2D plot above is chosen. To the right of the panels drop-down is the chromatography layout and the results layout. When a library search has been run, the layout will move to the results layout automatically to view the library search results. The user can switch back and forth between these views as desired, but the results layout is only available after a library search. Underneath the Save All Data Settings button, there is a pull-down with the saved settings. Some items that can be saved to a saved layout are collections of libraries and preferred report templates. From within the expansion arrow, the panel arrangements, 2D plot scheme, chromatogram, and spectrum plots, including the colors, show axis titles, show legend, transparent legend, and show grids. We have found that when working with many libraries, instead of choosing the libraries each time, it makes sense to have layouts with pre-selected libraries. For controlling the plots, first look at the blue information button on the bar above the plots. Combined with the other buttons here, the user has lots of options. Using the horizontal or vertical direction buttons, the user can use the left mouse button to zoom. To unzoom, the user need only press the right mouse button. Note that when the plot is unzoomed, it is auto-scaled so that the whole CG spectrum is shown. To avoid this, lock the spectrum prior to zooming the plot. To scroll through the plot, use the scroll wheel alone or while pressing the Shift button on the keyboard for different directions. To manually zoom vertically, press the Control button and scroll. The user can also add and remove peak labels and make the plots overlap or stack from this bar over the plots. Lastly, for the plots, the user will see crosshairs. These can be moved to see other plots change with it. Double-clicking will also call the crosshairs to the mouse location. The last trick that will be mentioned here are for the library search. The hit quality can be cut off so that the user only sees matches within a certain hit range. To do this, go to the expansion arrow of the identification section of the ribbon. Here, choose the match threshold %. At Spectra Analysis, we typically use the value of 90 to 95 for high-quality matches. Finally, the ability to do text search while doing library searches. First, perform a normal library search. Then go back to the Search Library button and choose from the pull-down Text Search. Now there is a block for the user to input the compound they would like to compare. Here at Spectra Analysis Instruments, we are constantly trying to make improvements to our customer user experience. We hope that this and all of our other videos are useful and informative, and as always, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. Thank you for watching.